This is the Tree of Life, Season 19, Chapter 5. In this episode, we will be talking about the flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel in more general terms. To begin, in past episodes, we discussed how atomization of the digital stream permits the movement of consciousness from vessel to vessel. The movement itself was attributed to the atomization, when it should more accurately have been attributed to the flipping of phase producing larger currents and polarity shifts within the atomized fluid. In fact, negational valence only represents a partial occlusion in the flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel. The occlusion is only partial, because even in the midst of negational valence producing a string within the digital stream, displacement mirroring still occurs at some level deep in infinite recursion, producing movement of affirmation and transformation of negation into affirmation for the adjacent structure member. This shift of negation to affirmation within the string segments the string, which gives rise to larger shifts in polarity and larger currents as the string is further atomized. However, the second type of reverse substitution event described in Season 18, Chapter 9, likewise produces this elimination of negational valence within the digital stream and therefore fragmentation of the string. Thus, displacement mirroring, which ends a substitution event, and the second type of reverse substitution event, are two ways by which the occlusion caused by negational valence within a digital string can be eliminated and the flow of consciousness from vessel to vessel continued. Now, we've talked about how sequential substitution events can occur, where a substitution event simpliciter is followed by a reverse substitution event. In this case, the negation precedes the acquiescence, causing the substitution event, followed by negation, which results in the reverse substitution event. However, if a second substitution event follows the two previous, the second substitution event simpliciter can reuse the negation which occurred at the end of the reverse substitution event. Rather like skipping whilst walking, the second substitution event simpliciter can be made continuous with the originating event. This is done by aligning the word associations of the second substitution event into a single linear stream through sublimation and verbalization. A series of sequential substitution events can be created using this technique, called skipping, resulting in potential use of the same negational impulse over a series, lengthening the duration of the substitution event, and through sublimation and verbalization, stringing together series of structures manually through negational valence. That's the end of the podcast for today.